The only thing what is continuous is passion. Passion to do things. That has been fueling my work always. That is the excitement that I have always carried. And I think that has kept it alive all the time. The longing to do something exciting and being in that moment where you are doing something really interesting. Believe in the fact that you can transform things. So it's not necessary that you need to start everything on your own. But when you want to really transform a place as an individual, you will always feel that how am I going to make a big difference? Because I'm just a student, I'm just fresh out of college. But it does make a difference. I have seen it myself. I've done it myself in environments that I've worked where things were not suited for me, were not tailor made for me, but I could make it turn around for my advantage and for me to perform and do things that I love to do. The other thing is believe in interdependency. It's a wisdom that I've learned later. Remember that you are not alone. There's a whole web of people you can connect with, and not everyone is trying to compete with you. Even from your student community, you can work with people and you can become a company with 3 or 4 of you coming together, and you can do things that you love to do. Your empathy as an entrepreneur will help even a client who is trying to use your creative work to their advantage. So having an entrepreneurial thinking is always an advantage. It makes you a better manager also. Film direction is very much part of animation filmmaking. But when you control human beings and direct a film, then you suddenly are elevated to a director. But an animator is a person who animates drawings or animates an object. Animator doesn't really mean that he's an animation filmmaker. So animation films also need a director. So this is a perception problem in our country, especially. Animator animates it, but this is the way I want to position filmmakers. Animation is such a powerful film medium that your precision in planning, decisions regarding camera moves, your decisions regarding edits, everything is pre-decided. In animation, for a 10-minute film, we make only 10 minutes. And for a live action film, you may shoot 1:10 times. And in live action, the film is made at the editing table. But in animation, we pre-edit. It's a very, very tough question. At this point in time, I would say Desi one. Because number one, it has, in terms of craft, it's a film that has broken so many boundaries. In terms of different styles of filmmaking in animation also, multiple mediums, multiple styles have been explored in that. And in terms of the soulfulness and the way it's come together for the messaging, musically, emotionally, I feel it's very gratifying to have something like that. And I'm very grateful that such a film has come about. As a growing professional, what one should prioritize is, according to me, is the learning. How much learning are you getting? How much of you can transform with this learning, that experience that you're getting? So that should be made as a priority, and not resist an opportunity because they're not paying industry standard, so I don't want to do it or something like that. Money is something that you always make, but experience that molds you is more important. I never thought that I want to make something like Lion King, or I didn't want to make anything like Mickey or something. That was not my priority. I want to tell stories that would be connecting emotionally with people, and not necessarily cartoon. I'm not against cartoon, but I was still thinking more as an animation, as a medium that can be very powerfully used for telling non-funny stories as well. At one point I felt that, okay, I've made enough films, I have enough name, but I need to make more directors in the country. I need to support them, I need to fund them, mentor them. So that's when I decided to do that. You know, if you can impact 10 filmmakers, and if I can impact 100 filmmakers tomorrow, then the scale of impact in the space is a lot bigger. So my vision is to get to that stage at the earliest. I want to support films and local stories so much in animation that people start watching it and start enjoying it. My only thing is your mind not working because you are so dependent on AI. It's a pretty bad state to be. It makes things polished, it makes things better, it gives you more options, that's fine. But think, do more with your own mind than depending on AI. The complacency that people can get into because of over dependency on AI, I feel we all will become a little dull in terms of our thinking, and we may not stimulate ourselves too much to come up with interesting things and interesting objectives creatively. That is a deterrent to great human culture to be retained. That's where I find it is, you start thinking inside a phone, your scale becomes very different. Use it as a tool, but make your mind run faster and get it exposed to the real world. Travel around, get yourself exposed rather than seeing everything and understanding everything sitting on a machine. But human experiences are so different. And if you don't have that experiences, and if you don't nurture them, and if you really believe in machine learning and machine deployed applications, then somewhere your humanity, your human experiences, lack of it will make you dull.